Well, Thanksgiving's over, so it's time to think about Christmas. And what better way to start for Christmas is looking at Christmas trees. Well, I'm with Craig at Lee Farms in Tualatin, and you have just a wonderful amount of different kinds of Christmas trees. You know, there's some on the market you see all the time, but you have a lot of different textures.
Yep, we do. And probably our most common and popular tree is the noble fir.
Beautiful.
And so we have nobles from 3 to 20 feet. And most of our nobles we try to keep kind of open so they're not real full.
Yeah.
Still layered, shows off the ornaments good. So it's a very popular tree. They really hold their needles good. So.
They're pretty. And what is this one here?
This used to be the most popular tree. It's a Douglas fir. And 30 years ago, 80% of all the trees sold in Oregon were Doug firs. And now it's about 80% noble, so it's kind of switched around.
Well, you know, also there's been a lot of popularity to get the everlasting trees, and it's like there's nothing that beats a fresh cut tree in the house. And I know you have a lot of pros for buying a Christmas tree,
You bet.
a real one.
Yep, and somebody asked me yesterday, well, we get an artificial tree because we don't want to cut the forest down. Well, we're not cutting the forest down. And these trees produce more oxygen per acre than a full mature tree. So for every tree we cut, we usually plant 2 more. And an artificial tree, of course, comes shipped all the way around the world and made out of petroleum-based plastic. So people get a real tree because it smells good.
Yeah, and it supports so many people in Oregon. It's a family business, and like you said, you're growing it as a crop, so it's not really, you're not doing endangered trees.
Yep, we're not cutting down the forest.
Yeah, and I love this new one right behind you. That's a different one.
This is a Nordmann Fir, and it's becoming, I think it's going to be probably the tree of the future. It's really a good hardy tree. It holds its needles real good. It's got good color, good space, so it's a real nice tree.
Yeah, I love it. There's a little bit of silver in it too. It's got a pretty two-tone.
Yep.
I like that one. And this is one of my favorites.
This is a Fraser Fir, and it's similar to the Nordmann. It's it doesn't hold its needles quite as good as the noble or the Nordmann, but it's a very fragrant tree. It really has a good smell.
I like it because it's a little more narrow. It fits in my house a little better. That's why I like it.
Yep. And we have on our trees, we'll do some of the same species. We'll do some really wide, and we'll do some really narrow, and everything in between. So. And then this is a grand fir, another really fragrant tree. It's similar to the Douglas fir, only a little more fragrant. It has more pockets in it for ornaments, and it's a real popular tree also.
It has a real pretty texture to it. It's just very traditional looking.
Yeah. So these are we have several other varieties, but these are by far the majority of what we sell. There's some Shastas and some other trees, but in concolors, they typically don't do as well and don't hold their needles, so that we don't sell near as many as those as we do these.
And I see for people with really tall rooms, you have these big ones.
Yeah, that's about a 16, 17 footer. And we actually sell quite a few of this size, and we have a service where our kids will deliver them and set them up on our stands.
That's so nice.
All you got to do is decorate it.
So when we come out to your farm, we can go cut them?
Yep. You can cut them, and we'll cut it. If you pick the tree out, typically we'll cut the tree, we bring it back, we shake it, we wrap it, we bale it, and we load it on your cart, no extra charge.
Wow, so there's just one fee for all that?
Yep, just the price of the tree, and so we are really a full-service tree farm. Try to make it easy.
Sure, and I love what's in the store. I mean, you have a beautiful bakery and all kinds of decorated trees, so it's really a lot of Christmas things going on here for the whole family.
Yep, I have 4 daughters and a son, and so they run that business, and like you say, they have a bakery and a wreath-making business, and they make centerpieces and garlands, so there's a lot going on in the store.
So Craig, I know William has a lot of questions about how to take this home and take care of the tree, so we're going to walk over and talk to him.
All right, sounds good.
Well, now, Craig, it's my turn to get to pick your brain. Since Judy talked about the great selection of types of trees, we're going to be talking about preserving them, and I think one of the first things people might not realize, but flocking really is a great preservative for a tree.
It is. The flocking seals the tree up so moisture can't leave the tree, and most of our customers don't even water the tree when they have a tree flocked. So it'll keep the moisture in and it'll last pretty much forever.
And the flock that you use is a cotton-based
Cotton-based, yep. And so it's good for the environment, doesn't hurt anything, and it's works really well.
And it really is beautiful, but if you want something, that's not flocked, really the key in your mind for making a tree maintain its needles and stay a long time is water.
If you have a green tree and you want it to last, you have to water it. And as a general rule of thumb, a tree will take 1 gallon of water per foot of height. And what happens to almost everybody, their tree stand doesn't hold enough water. It'll take up to 2 gallons a night.
Wow.
And if it runs out of water, by the morning time, it will have sealed itself off and it won't take any more water. And so that's what happens to most people. So you've got to have a stand that has a large water holding capacity.
And Craig, when you say runs out of water, you're not talking about runs out for a day. You mean if it goes a couple hours, that sealing process will start. So
yeah, that's how the tree protects itself. It'll try to keep moisture in. It'll, at the bottom of the trunk, it'll seal itself off and it won't take any more water when you add water again.
Well, now out here at your farm, you sell one type of tree stand, and it's called the Davis tree stand.
John Davis developed it out of Eugene, Oregon, and it's really a super stand. It's quite unique. And we sell 5 different sizes, all the way up to 25-foot trees. But the way the stand works is it'll go on any size tree trunk. And we hammer this onto the trunk of the tree, and then this screws into the side of the tree. And then we stand the stand up, and if it's crooked, you just simply step on the ring and bend it up.
And I'll be the first person to sing the praises. I love this tree stand. I've used it myself. They are easy. And the great thing is not only the ease, but then you have these huge reservoirs of water.
Yep, you just, like, this holds 3.5 gallons of water. And so if you just check your tree once a day, you're gonna be fine, and that tree's gonna last a long time.
Because if you're used to those little tiny tree stands with that little half-gallon water thing.
Right, and once you put the tree in, if it's got a big trunk, there isn't any water holding capacity. So it really works good. And we put the stand on every year once somebody purchases it from us, and it has a forever warranty. And so people have been really happy with our tree stand.
Yeah, they're really unusual looking, but I can tell you that they work like a charm. And if you have any questions about what kind of tree you want, or the tree stands that we showed here today, or how to preserve your tree, come on out to your farm, because you guys have been doing this for 7 generations.
That's right. And so if I'm not available, one of my 5 kids can help us and help with questions. And
well, it's just there's a lot of information that you can get from them, and they're more than willing to share it with you. If you want to find out how to get here, you can go to gardentime.tv, and we'll click you over to their website. Well, happy holidays, Craig.
All right.
Thanks for all the info.
Thank you.